Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity and welcome to another Will I Buy It / talking about new makeup and mainly focus on the indie makeup world. I might have one or two that aren't indie makeup, but for the majority of the products that I'm going to be talking about today, the new releases that are coming out, they're all indie owned and the first few are actually going to be influencer started. So I'm really excited. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to get into the new makeup releases from just brands in general because I think we have 4 either influencer releasing brands or influencers collabing with brands. So there's a lot to talk about. I got some drama to talk about and I'll do that for the first one so we can kind of get that over with and move on. But before we get in, per usual, I like to shout out that these lovely ladies, Samantha, Angelica, and Amy, are the ones who inspired me to start this on my channel, so I always leave them linked down in the description box. Highly recommend you check their videos out because they are amazing. And before we dive into it, let's do our Instagram shout out for today. Today it's going to go to Tammy and Charlie. She is a frequent commenter. I'm always seeing her name pop up in my Instagram and even here on YouTube, so thank you so much, Tammy, for your support. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you'd like to have a chance being featured as my Instagram shout out in one of my videos, all you have to do is be following me on Instagram and comment on my new posts as I post them. So with that intro out of the way, let's dive into talking about some new releases. Okay, so let's first start talking about the biggest one, at least for me personally, and the one that I had the drama to talk about. But RawBeautyKristi collaborated with PUR to launch a palette and lashes, and when I tell you I was excited for her, I was like so excited for her, that would be an understatement. I'll go ahead and stick their little promo video here because it was so well done. I was absolutely all for this collab. The colorful side excited me so much, and even the neutral side, while it was very neutral and there were a couple browns that just were like standard browns, it had a lot of grunge to it. It had those mustardy tones that I just loved, and I felt like combined with the colorful side, it could come up with some really cool looks. And that aside, I feel like it would be the most perfect travel palette because it has the neutral and the colorful. So if I ever were to go, if we ever go places again, but if I ever were to travel anywhere, I could take just that one small, compact, very little palette and I could have both neutral looks and colorful looks. I could do very neutral with a pop of color or something like that. The possibilities and just the practicality of that palette seemed endless. So I was all excited for the palette. And then launch day happened. And I'm sure everyone knows about this by now. And if you tried to get it at all, I'm sure you know about it because the website was crashed for the entire day. Like not just a couple hours, the whole day. I woke up the next morning and it was still in stock, or at least I could still add it to my cart and try to check it out. And I was still having the same problems that I had literally 24 hours before. It was a hot mess. And I do want to preface this, and before I kind of get into my rant, because it's totally a rant, I'm pretty salty about it at this point, but I do want to say this is nothing against Kristi. I understand that Kristi has like no control and no kind of say-so in how PUR runs their website. This is all on PUR, and I know people are saying like, hey, they never had a big release like this and whatnot, but like, Kristi has 1 million subscribers. Kristi has a very loyal fan base. Like, I feel like they should have predicted a lot of support. And just the fact that the website was glitching hours before the release even happened should have given them a little bit of a hint that they should jump on fixing the problem. And the fact that they really never fixed the problem until everything was sold out, I was pretty bummed. So like I said, I was checking it way before the site even launched because I was adding things to my cart because I wanted to buy a couple things from PUR and be able to do kind of like a one brand review because I have tried PUR in the past. I have their highlighter. Actually, I'm using this month. Don't have it on today, but I've been using it and I really love it. So I thought it'd be fun to be able to do a, one brand review and talk about PUR along with this palette. And honestly, the history of me and PUR with their eyeshadow palettes haven't been great. I'm currently trying the one that they sent, BoxyCharm, and I've only used it once, so I can't say too much about it, but I haven't been crazy about their formula. So seeing Kristi collab with them, I was really hopeful that she made sure that whatever formula they used in that palette was really good. So that was another reason I was excited to try it and see if it was any better because I just haven't been a fan of PUR's eyeshadow formula in the past. So the morning of, I kept trying to get on it and it was just glitching. It wouldn't even let you load. So I was like, okay, they're probably shutting down the site to kind of prep it, make sure everything's ready to go, make sure everything's going to be working fast. And then it launched and the website was still crashing. Like I couldn't even get it to load. And that went on for several hours. And I want to say around maybe the 4 or 5 hour mark, it finally was actually loading the website. So then it was very, very slow. You would click and have to wait so very long. It kept crashing and I have to, refresh and re-click. But I feel like around 4 or 5 hours, I was actually able to load the website and get on and try to add things to my cart. And I think I added all the stuff that I wanted to my cart and got through to the checkout line, got to the last step where I just had to click submit order. I think I did that about 3-4 times that afternoon, and as soon as you hit submit, it would just give you an error message. So I would click OK, and I'd hit submit again, and I would do that repeatedly, just back and forth, trying to get it to work until either the whole website crashed and exited me out and erased everything that I had done and just showed me an empty cart, or it would kick me back to my cart and show me all my products, and I'd have to go through the whole process again of inputting my information, inputting my credit card information, all that stuff, get to the checkout, click to submit order, and the error message would come. I did that, no joke, about 3-4 times. And on the third time when it totally wiped my cart, I was just like, okay, I need to take a step back. So I walked away from it, came back a couple hours later and tried it again, did the same process. So it probably took me over an hour just to do that one process. And I keep clicking submit, it will kick me back, keep clicking submit, kick me back, keep clicking submit, kick me back, show me an empty cart. And I got so upset, and then I went to click refresh and do it all over again, and that's when they put in the wait line. When I had just been on the website waiting to check out, like I had everything in my cart, and then it refreshed and said, oh no, you're now in line, you have to wait. So I was like, okay, I will wait. So I waited. I think I was like 18,000 or something, I forget. It was a long line, and so I left it up, waited, kept checking on it. Finally was my turn. And it said that you only get 10 minutes on the website, which I was very concerned about, because once it was my turn, it probably took me 20 minutes to even be able to refresh the pages to load, because it was still glitching that badly. But anyway, it was my turn. I spent probably 2 hours trying to do it was just the same story, basically. To keep this short, it did the same thing when I waited through line as it did before there was a line, where I would get to the end, I click submit, it would show me an error message, I click OK, I click submit again. I did that a couple times till it kicked me back to the cart and showed an empty cart. This is getting old. I did that a couple times, and finally I was like, you know what, whatever. At this point, I am so upset if I get this product. I don't want me to be biased towards the product because I'm so upset that I can't get it. So I just dropped it, and I was keeping you guys, I was ranting on Twitter and a little bit on my Instagram stories, keeping you guys informed of how awful it was. And I was super sad because, like I said, I was really excited for that palette. I had a couple of people say like, hey, if I get through, do you want me to get you another palette? And I was so very thankful for that. Like, that was so incredibly sweet. But for me, like, it was a lot of money, and I've been spending a lot of money on makeup recently. I'm trying to do better at not spending so much money on makeup that I don't need. So for me, by the time someone would get their package and then be able to ship the palette to me, it wouldn't have been worth the money I spent on it to make a video. And I don't make that much on my YouTube videos, so I never get the money I spent on the palette back in the video. And I definitely wouldn't if it would have been like old news. I would have probably made like $2 on it, and that just wasn't worth it to me. So I really wanted the palette, but it's just not in the cards. I'm not going to get it because the launch was such a mess. I feel like with everything I've heard, PUR takes the cake for the worst launch in like the history of makeup. Like, I've never heard of a launch where basically nearly 24 hours after it launches, the website is still glitching and giving people problems. And like I said, no hate towards Kristi. I am so very excited for her. I'm so very excited that she has so much love for her that this problem arose, but I hate it at the same time because I was one of the ones who wasted all that time and have absolutely nothing to show for it, and that just really makes me very salty. So yeah, well, I'm super excited for Kristi. I think this is absolutely amazing. It's a perfect collab. I'm just honestly upset because I'm not going to be able to partake in the super exciting collab. And you know, maybe in a couple months, if it comes to Ulta and I can get it with Ulta points, then it'll be worth it. But for the purposes of reviewing it on my channel and being able to, you know, get a quick turnaround and share with you guys looks and whatnot, I'm not going to be doing that. So no real reason for me to pick it up at launch. But from the few videos that I've seen, because people are starting to get into in PR as well, it seems like a really good formula, which makes it hurt that much more. Okay, I'm sorry I was so long-winded. I told y'all it was a bit of a rant. Let's move on to something a little more exciting. JenLuvsReviews is collaborating with OFRA to come out with this Metamorphosis lip trio, and I am so excited for her. Jen is just one of the sweetest persons on YouTube, and I'm so excited that she got an opportunity to collaborate with a brand. And OFRA's liquid lipsticks have such a cult following because while they're not my favorite for non-transferring, because they do transfer on me, they are a favorite when it comes to the comfortability of the lipsticks. So I was very excited to see this, and the concept behind the trio where they were colors that you could use to mix and change shades and whatnot, that was really appealing to me. So I was all about that. And Jen actually had OFRA send me PR, which I was absolutely blown away when I got the email. I wasn't previously on OFRA's PR, so I wasn't at all expecting to get this. But after she launched her video, I actually got an email from PUR saying that Jen had put me on the list of someone they wanted to send PR to, and I was just like, what, me? Like, I know Jen knows of me, but I didn't think she knew that much about me, so That absolutely blew me away, and it actually showed up in the mail a couple days ago. I was just so blown away, so thank you so much, Jen. It was a good day, I'll just say that. And I actually did film a video, and I just took all of my ugly lipsticks in my collection, and I tried to see what the Metamorphosis lip trio, what the lipsticks could do for it, and it was really fun. I thought it was really cool. But yeah, this isn't launched yet. It's coming on 7/20, so very, very soon. These lipsticks aren't limited edition, so if you are wanting to get them, don't feel too stressed that you have to get it ASAP, because like she said, they aren't limited edition, and you can buy them individually, which I was absolutely thrilled about. But yeah, congrats to Jen. I think that is so very awesome, and you can get them on the OFRA website on 7/20. Okay, next up, Jackie Aina is coming out with a brand. There's not much to say beside that. It's called Forvrmood. No one even knows what this is, if it's makeup, if it's fashion, if it's jewelry, if it's skincare. We have no idea, because they literally just have one picture, and she just announced it a couple days ago, but I just had to share on here because I'm really excited for her. I feel like it's time for Jackie Aina to come out with a brand. I feel like people have been wanting her to come out with a brand for a while, so I'm excited to see what it is. Of course, I'm hoping it's makeup because I'm a makeup junkie, but I'll be excited to see, and if it is makeup, I will continue to feature it here in my Will I Buy It. I cannot wait to see what she comes out with, but yeah, a little bit of a teaser, and she's keeping a very closed lip right now because nobody knows what it is, at least on the day that I'm filming it, which I should say is Thursday, so a couple days ago, 2 days ago, on the day you're seeing this, but yeah. Don't know yet. And another influencer that is releasing their own brand is Patrick Starr. He is coming out with One Size Beauty, and the first two products that he's releasing are actually makeup removers. This one right here is a makeup mist, which is actually kind of intriguing. I was honestly very intrigued. And then the other is makeup wipes, which I think he's getting a little bit of a roast on social media and in the beauty community for releasing makeup wipes, because people really don't like them. They're very bad for the environment, I think. I've never really looked into it because I hate makeup wipes. I don't even like the makeup remover wipe because I just feel like they're so rough. I'm someone who has always just used cleansing balms or cleansing oils, and it's just so gentle and works so well. So the makeup remover wipes have no interest for me, but the makeup mist, I'm actually like, oh, that was really cool. I think that's neat. And if I heard right, or if I read right, he's launching at Sephora, which is cool because I feel like that's an easier way for people to try a new brand, because for me personally, I wouldn't buy a makeup remover product from a brand new brand from the brand's website, if that makes sense. But since it's at Sephora, I feel like more people are going to be willing to try it. But that's just me. But overall, I'm not going to be getting this, mainly because I have a couple cleansing balms in the wings already, so I don't need another one. And I don't know, I just don't get that excited when it comes to products to use to remove my makeup. I mean, as long as it removes it, it's good. I guess I can't get excited for an influencer who's launching a makeup remover product just because it's kind of like, I don't know. I feel like every influencer who launches a brand always comes out with a palette or something. So good on him for doing something different. But for me personally, I'm not intrigued. But okay, so I'm really only going to be able to touch on a couple things. So let me try to do this quickly. Juvia's Place is releasing nude lipsticks, and I was so upset. I'm on Juvia's PR list, but they do their PR a little bit different, where they let you know ahead of time. Sometimes they let you know ahead of time and they have you like sign up and agree to receiving it. It's still PR and all that, but they just want to make sure you are open and like interested in trying it. And in the past when they've done that, I've always just said, yeah, sure, send whatever. This last time they sent me an email, I just took it as like, hey, we're going to be sending this to you. I didn't read the full email, where at the bottom they said, please give us your shipping address if you do want to opt in to receiving the products. So I missed the cutoff date. They didn't say what they were launching. It was just a super secret, but seeing this now, I'm pretty sure it was a nude lipstick that I totally missed out on. So I am the worst at replying to my emails, I tell you. But anyway, they're launching nude lipsticks. I think it's fitting. I feel like Juvia's Place doesn't really have any lip products. They might have liquid lipsticks, but when it comes to like glosses and regular bullet lipsticks, and they're even coming out with lip liners, I feel like it's very appropriate. Not super exciting maybe, but I love a good nude. It looks like they have a decent variety of nudes, I guess. I'm not an expert when it comes to nudes for all skin types, but there's some really light ones, some really dark ones. I feel like they're all kind of more mid-tone though. I don't know. Overall, you guys know I like nudes, so if I were to have gotten this, I would have been excited to have some more nudes, but I have a lot of nudes in my lip collection, so I don't need any more nudes. But I think this is exciting. I'm excited for them. Really cool to see them come out with this. Colourpop is jumping on the freckle train, and they are coming out with, what are these even called? They're already launched at the time you're seeing this, but they're just called So Fresh, So Freckled, I think. But I think it's really cool that they're jumping on this, because I feel like there's not a whole lot of products when it comes to freckles and like doing those that faux freckled look. I feel like there's only 2 or 3 brands that I know of at least that are doing them, so it's neat to see a big brand like Colourpop jumping on that. I'm not someone who's into freckles. I don't know. I feel like I could try, but I don't I don't know, not to say that I don't like anyone who does them. Like I think Butte Bean and who else is doing freckles? I think Kristi does them sometime. I've seen Maria do them sometime. I've been seeing more people doing freckles and I think it's absolutely beautiful. But for me personally, to take the extra time when I have very little time doing my makeup, I have no interest in it, so I'm not going to be getting it, but I do think it's really cool that they're coming out with them. Glamlite finally showed what's inside their new donut packaging, and this is really cute. I like that it comes with the highlighter and eyeshadows. I think that's a really good combo. I always think that's neat because highlighters, yes, they can be used for your face, but they also make amazing inner corner highlights, so I like that it's combined and you can use it as your inner corner. You can use it all over your lid, what have you. It's very versatile, but it also works well as a face highlight and makes things more easy and compact when I'm doing my makeup in the morning and makes it quicker. So I like that, but when we're talking about the colors in this palette, they're not for me. I'm not going to be picking this up. I think it's pretty. I think it's a fun color story. I like how they don't just do a rainbow like I feel like they do a lot of the time. They kind of kept to, you know, the pinks and the blues and the purple, which is cool. They did throw in those two neutrals, which I'm just kind of like, why? But you know, whatever. At least it has a couple neutrals if you like it. But overall, the color story, I feel like, you guys know pinks, purples, and blues are probably my least favorite to work with, so I'm not going to buy a palette that's full of pinks, purples, and blues. Oh, Dose of Colors just launched this. I want to make sure I get this in because Christina actually sent it to me in DMs. She's so very sweet, always sending me new releases to make sure I see it. So thank you so much. But Dose of Colors just released this. This is their Cutting Edge and Smoky Siore, I think is how you say that, palettes, and they're launching yesterday at the time that you guys are seeing this. And I am really intrigued. Can you guys guess which one I want? Yeah, the grungy one, the cutting edge one. That looks really pretty. When I first saw this, I was like, oh shoot, those look like pressed glitters in there. But I actually left a comment and I looked on their page and they didn't say pressed glitters. They said, what did they call it? Mix of rich mattes and reflective shimmers. So I feel like it might be like what they have in the Friendcation palette, which those are so beautiful. They weren't my favorite back then, but I'm kind of intrigued to try again because I feel like it's been a while since I've tried Dose of Colors. So I'm very tempted. I just saw this, I think yesterday or whatnot, so I haven't fully got my thoughts on it because initially I'm just like, yes, I want the cutting edge, but I don't know. That's such a pretty grungy palette. It's got the mustard, it's got the green, and then it has that kind of terracotta color that I absolutely love mixed with those, that orangey kind of terracotta, and then the two shimmers look so pretty, so I'm very tempted. And then I've kind of been ignoring the other one, but the Smoky Siore looks pretty too if you like that very smoky black with that burgundy look. That's very pretty, but for me personally, I'm passing, but Cutting Edge, I'm eyeing. Okay, let's touch on two more products and then we're going to wrap this up. LunarSkies Cosmetics released or just showed that they're releasing their cake palette. Have Your Cake palette, and this palette looks like so much fun. I saw it and I was just like, wow, that is a pretty colorful palette. I like that while it's very bright colors, it looks like it has a lot of pastels in it too, which I think is great for right now. I feel like pastels are really trending, and the fact that they can kind of capitalize on giving you those monochromatic type of looks from pastels to really bright to a little bit more deeper with some shimmers. This has definitely got my eye. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to pick it up. Oh, okay, it's launching late August and September, so I'm eyeing this. Let me know, would you guys like to see me review this? I haven't tried their brand yet, but they have been a brand I've been eyeing. Every time they release something, I'm always like, ooh, that looks really pretty, that's really cool. I'm very intrigued. They don't have any green in here too, so I guess it's not a full rainbow palette because where's my green? But even though this technically has three columns, the pink, the purple, and the blue that I'm not crazy about, those two in the middle really intrigue me, and then I like rainbow colors. I don't mind incorporating pink and blue and purple with other colors and making fun looks, so something about this palette has really caught my eye and I'm very much intrigued. They also had a little bit of a, not a scandal, a little bit of drama because I guess when they launched this, a lot of people were saying like, hey, you guys are copying, was this it? Oh, I think they removed the post because they did a side-by-side comparison because people were calling them out for ripping off Glamlite because they have a cake palette that's kind of a rainbow palette, and they have, you know, they're launching this cake palette that's kind of like a rainbow palette. But I mean, I thought the same thing. Like the only similarities that I thought was the name, and like, I mean, yes, they're similar in that they're both very colorful, but like it's the rainbow. And again, they don't have green in it, so it's technically not the rainbow. And they also focus a lot more on the pastels than I feel like the Glamlite palette did. But anyway, I didn't really take that into consideration. I didn't think they were trying to rip off Glamlite because, like I said, for me, the only similarities was the name cake and the fact that it was very colorful. And I feel like that, you know, Glamlite doesn't have a trademark on a very colorful palette called, you know, having cake in the name. I don't know. I just thought that was a little reaching. Like, yes, they're similar, but I mean, come on, there's nothing new under the sun. But anyway, I'm excited for that. I'm really, really curious. Let me know if you'd like to see it because I want to try LunarSkies. They've been really intriguing me ever since I first learned about them. And this palette is very bright and beautiful. I just saw on Twitter, Jen said she bought this and she feels like a clown, but she's just too curious. I'm going to be excited to see what, she thinks about it. But like Zero No Pigment Virtual Foundation. I feel like this is something Glossier should have come out with because like this is just so them. Like a foundation that has no pigment. Did anyone want to mention to Becca that that's just like a moisturizer? Or a primer, as everyone's been saying? Like, what the heck? I don't know. I thought this was absolutely ridiculous. And I just kind of laughed. I was like, yeah, this is for people who have perfect skin. And then they want to wear foundation, so they put this on. But if you are like that, just go out and buy a moisturizer. And you'll get the same look. I don't understand it. Maybe there's something about this that I'm not understanding, so I'll be curious to see people's reviews on it and whatnot. But for me personally, I just feel like it's a very gimmicky product that is just kind of banking on the marketing aspect of being a zero, no pigment foundation to sell the product. Because like as a product, a no pigment primer doesn't make sense. Alright, so that is where I'm going to stop. I still have so many brands that I wanted to mention, so many new products that are launching I just didn't have time to get to. I'm kind of contemplating doing this again next week. I've been trying to do them about every 2 weeks, but like I said, I've just had so many more products saved that I wasn't able to get to, so I'm kind of tempted, but we'll see what happens. But I hope you guys enjoyed seeing these new products releasing and seeing what's coming, hearing my thoughts on them. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them if you want to share with me down below. I always like to hear what you guys think about these new product launches, and I always just like sharing with you guys what I hear. And whenever you guys let me know what products you would or would not like to see on my channel, I always really do appreciate that because it helps me kind of figure out where to spend my money and what is worth spending my money on, so that I'm not only getting to try new products and try new palettes because I have a problem, but I'm also able to help you guys in the process see if a product is worth purchasing. But I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as always, if you did, hit the thumbs up button on your way out as it helps me in the whole YouTube algorithm. If you want to continue getting daily content from me, I post on Instagram and I'm LadyKatie92 over there. Post about every day, and leaving a comment on my post will give you a chance to be featured in my Instagram shoutouts at the beginning of the videos. But yeah, with all that said, I will see you very soon in my next one. Bye guys.